Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is going to be 5 tips from your future self to change your life before 2024. That was a mouthful, but you have this comfort card for tip number 1. It says your income is steady and living comfortably. It also says being too comfortable and playing life too safe is hurting your success. So let's see what you are doing here. I feel like it's actually kind of in the middle for you here, Libra. You have the Hermit, the Seven of Cups, and the Devil. So, this would kind of say to me, that, the Hermit with the Seven of Cups would say that you're dreaming of more in life like everybody else. You want something different, or you're hoping to improve your life in some way. And the Hermit would kind of say that you are maybe holding back your inner light. There's something inside of you that needs to be expressed into the world. He always has like the star in his lantern. And to me, the Hermit is not really a bad card. I think, it's a good card, but he needs to open that lantern. He needs to shine his inner light into the world. And with the Seven of Cups, again, it's like probably something that you've been dreaming of doing, or something that you want to do in some way. So, if there's something, I feel like your first tip here to change your life before 2024 is to, share your inner light. You have this card that says, sing your own song. There you go, Libra. Exactly what I was saying. It's like clear to me that you need to kind of unleash the beast inside of you. You need to, get something out there. I feel it'll be very, very successful, whatever it is. But again, you have the Hermit, the Seven of Cups, and the Devil. I'm using the In-Between Tarot. It represents the in-between two energies of 2 cards. So with the Hermit, we have the Hermit to the Wheel of Fortune. So I really feel that your fortunes will change, clearly, if you share whatever is inside of you. It's like something, and you know what's crazy? Look at this. He's sitting on like a circle, and it's got all these musical notes on it. How crazy is that, Libra? So again, clearly, I feel you need to sing your song like that canary spirit says. I do feel like this is something you're going to want to act on this year as well. So if you have something that you want to accomplish, I don't care what it is. For some of you, I'm actually hearing traveling. So it could just be traveling somewhere, and it might be very important. Again, I think people don't realize we are living in a very magical time. Magical in the sense that we're in this time where I feel there's a lot of dot connecting. And what I mean by that is you could travel somewhere just maybe for fun, and then you fall in love with the place, you move there, and then maybe you meet the love of your life and start a business. It's like there's all these dots connecting in the energy. But if we stay home, if we don't do anything, if we just stay hermits, then nothing is going to happen. And again, I think that there is an element of the energy that exists right now that is kind of making us more hermit mode, making us feel more withdrawn, making us feel like we shouldn't be out there expanding. But again, I personally believe that it's because there's a lot of empty space that needs to be filled. So what we're actually feeling is like the fear of the unknown, the fear of expansion. And I really just want to encourage people to expand as much as possible. I think the world needs better ideas during Pluto and Aquarius, just in general, not just for problems, but for everything, for good things, for relationships, for health, everything. It's like the world just needs better ideas. And, if we don't get out there and explore and try new things, then no one is going to come up with these good ideas, basically. You have the Seven of Cups to the Eight of Cups. Again, I feel like there's something that you need to bring down to earth. The Seven of Cups, he's looking at these cups, and, he is seeing all the good things and the bad things in these cups, but he needs to bring it down to earth. I feel like the Eight of Cups part of this is saying that if you are not 100% fulfilled doing what you're doing, then that could be a clue that you need to make a change. I'm pretty sure it's Gary Vee. He has a famous story where it's like, back in the day, he decided that he was only 92% happy at his job, and so he quit his job, went to work for his dad, and grew his dad's business to millions of dollars, right? I'm paraphrasing here, but the whole point is he went and did something that made him happy. That made him 100% happy, right? Maybe not 100%, but whatever. A lot more than he was. So, I kind of get that energy here on the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Cups is that, there's something, whatever this is, it's going to make you very happy. You have the Devil. We go from the Devil to the Tower. What's super interesting is if you go this direction, you have the Tower to the Star. So some of you, maybe you have had a Tower moment already, because, technically your first row would be like the past position. And what I would say is luckily you have that Star card, or you go to the Star, which would kind of represent, healing from a Tower moment or overcoming some sort of Tower moment as well. The other thing I would say is that, people who do this sort of thing right here that we have going on, you are going to cause tower moments for people in your life. But I always say, too bad. I think that's in the astrology, that's the other thing that we need to get over is like, oh, what will my cousin think? Or, what will my parents think? Or whatever, if I, do this XYZ with my life. And you need to do it anyway, right? And not care. Because if you do that, you'll be successful. With the Hermit, you have the Seduction card. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify this reading. And I feel like this is saying that something has captured your attention with that Hermit card. This is Jupiter in Pisces. We had Jupiter in Pisces over, not last year, the year before. And, what I would say here is maybe you've had this idea since like 2 years ago or so, or whatever. I can't do the math in my head, but it was, basically 2 years ago. Maybe you've had an idea or a new idea, or, I'd say this is something that keeps replaying in your head. Maybe you keep having an idea to grow your business or to expand into the world or whatever I said, right? And I would do it. With the Seven of Cups, you have this flirtation card here. Some of you, again, this could be love coming in for you, by the way. I do feel if there's love coming in for you, I'd say it's someone who's very different than your usual type. Again, these readings aren't necessarily meant to be love readings. They could be. But what I would say is I think that more the focus here is that you've been flirting with an idea. Again, Seven of Cups would be like flirting with an idea because you see the idea, above your head in those 7 cups. You're looking at the good things, the bad things, but now it's time to, stop flirting and bring it down to earth. With the Devil and the Tower, you have this Secrets card here. I kind of actually feel with the Devil and the Tower, this is encouraging you to protect your ideas, I feel this is encouraging you to, be careful who you share your ideas with and just kind of keep them, close to your chest, basically. So that's what I would do there. I would also say with that Comfort card, any comfort zones you could leave would be a good idea, but we're talking about positive expansion here. It's like, if this, if you have an idea here to start a business and it's going to require you to work harder than you ever have for a little bit of time, then do it. That could be leaving a comfort zone. It could be anything. For tip number 2, you have this October card. It literally says breaking free from fear. Hesitation may cost you. Be bold. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it. You have the Tower to the Tower. And again, I kind of feel that diagonal there is kind of saying, like, I don't think we should rush right now, but I do think we should get moving. I think that if we have an idea, we have to put it into practice. We have to kind of create it. What I will say is that we have, Saturn and Pisces, and, with Saturn and Pisces, we also have Neptune and Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces is very dreamy. 7 of Cups, it's very kind of like we could have some sort of goal, wish, or dream. We could have some sort of idea on something we want to create. And with Saturn and Pisces, it's really encouraging us to bring it down to earth. And literally, your first card is the World. You have the Death card and the 10 of Pentacles. The World, with the World, we go from the World to the Fool. And this is the World to the Fool. Again, the Fool's journey, as you start as a fool, go to the world, then you start all over again as a fool. And we do this many times in life, or we should, really. And what I would say here is that I feel like you need to bring some sort of idea down to earth, like we've been talking about this whole entire time. I would not hesitate. I feel there's going to be a big accomplishment here for you, but you need to kind of like get moving. You have the Death card here. You have a Death to Temperance. Something is being reborn in your life. It's interesting. There's this like phoenix on the card right here. Traditionally, Scorpio, the Death card, was the phoenix. Traditionally, Scorpio was not the scorpion. Or, traditionally, Scorpio was also the eagle as well. But again, really, I feel that there could be some sort of rebirth or something could be being reborn after a Tower moment that's happened in your life. I feel that it would be a good time to kind of look at the lessons that you've learned, if you have had any losses, or, if there's something that you would like to have in your life again. Could be love, but doesn't have to be, maybe you had a business and it failed, and now you're kind of looking at it and saying, I learned these lessons, but I would still like to have a business again. What did I learn, right? I would kind of look at those things and see what you learned. I feel for some of you as well that, again, you have the 10 of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles here. The 10 of Pentacles is a great card of success. Again, this is, I say to everyone, really, I could probably just stop doing tarot readings and just do one video for the channel and just be like, do this right here, 10 of Pentacles. That's what everybody should be working on, building and leaving a legacy. And 10 of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in life. But we don't just get the 10 of Pentacles, of course. And it is something that you will work on for the rest of your life. But with all this energy in Taurus, we have Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus, and there are several things that are happening over the next like several decades, really, that are really encouraging people to like build or leave a legacy, to leave their mark on the world, to do something that they feel is important. It doesn't matter what it is. So I would get to work if you feel that you have any like important ideas or things that you want to create in the world specifically, because you have that world card. And I do feel also that this row is talking about having a new beginning. Literally, Fool, you have the Death card, in the Ten of Pentacles to the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, literally a new beginning, a new opportunity. So I feel like this tip number 2 is to take advantage of any new opportunities that come your way. With the World, you have this Influence card. Interestingly enough, a lot of people have had this card. There are like 900 cards in this deck. I mean, this is a fat deck, right? So what I would say here is everybody's had this card. It's always weird to me when cards repeat, even though there's a lot of cards on the table. It's weird to me when cards repeat in a deck like this that has so many cards. But what I would say is a lot of people have had this. It's like the one repeating card. And I feel, like I said earlier in your reading, I would be careful of people who are influencing you or other people's ideas or their ideas for your life. Keyword being your life. It's not their life. So I feel like you need to be careful of like external influences or people who are trying to influence you. With the Death card, you have this Appreciation card here. Yeah, I feel like you need to like appreciate where you have come from and definitely gain perspective. A lot of, I feel for you, Libra, there is a lot of energy of really needing to, kind of pat yourself on the back here, needing to realize that you have changed. You have made a lot of differences in the world. You have done a lot of stuff. And I really feel like you need to appreciate that, because when you do that, you do more. So, that's what I'd say here. This is a card of abundance, and I definitely feel there's like more abundance coming in here. And with the Ten of Pentacles, you have this Friendship card. I think it's an amazing time to focus on friendships and positive relationships. I always say we're entering into this time of co-creation. Anything you do to work together with other people, to find people who support you and like truly support you, to find your, tribe, so to speak. And if you can't find it, build it, right? That would be my suggestion, is build your own. Because that's what we should be doing, is, kind of building communities where we support each other, and it could be any community. Maybe you're passionate about, raising crickets. I don't care what it is. I would just do something, because if you do that, you're creating the energy in the world, which creates more of it, which just comes back to you. For your third tip, you have this card that says, you will be a great success. There you go. But you will have to go through it to get there, which you've already been through. You have the Tower twice. There's lessons to be learned. Yes, don't repeat lessons, though, with the Tower. But what I would say is that, luckily, this is the Tower to the Star. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. With the Tower to the Star, this really tells me that you have been through it. And I feel like you've seen what you need to throw out. You've seen what you can keep in your life. I also feel like you see the things that have repeated, like the repeat Tower moments, or the things that just keep happening again and again and again. And so I feel like you are kind of like cutting these things out of your life. And, you might even find yourself being annoyed by, things that repeat, or, I don't really have a good example, but maybe there are just like people who say the same thing to you. And that might be like a little bit of a warning sign. Like maybe they always say the same stuff. And maybe you're like, you know what? This person does not have an original thought. They just keep repeating the same freaking thing over and over and over again. So it's like, maybe you have a parent who's like, oh, don't start that business. It's dangerous. It's like crossing the road is dangerous, right? It's like, there's a TV show, 1,000 Ways to Die. Like people die like choking on their toothbrush and stuff like that. Literally, are you going to like worry about every little thing? I don't think so. So, definitely I feel this is saying go towards the star. The star is your North Star. It's something that excites you. You have the Three of Pentacles here. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. Again, we are definitely in a time of teamwork. I feel that if you're not working together, if you're not like leveraging other people, then you're definitely not as successful as you could be. And I'm not even saying that you have to, hire people for your business or anything like that. But again, right now it's all about relationships. We should be building great relationships where we help each other out. These are definitely equal relationships as well. So, it's like people hate when I use like the word leverage on relationships. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and be like, oh, we live in La La Land where it's like we just help each other out and blah, 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 blah. It's BS, right? So what I would say here is that, again, I do think it's important that if you can't help someone at the same level that they can help you, then find people who you can help at the same level. Of course, it's like, we have to be able to, you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing. That's how life works. And, again, these people that don't believe it are going to get, eaten by the lions, right? is that's how I feel about it. People who think we live in La La Land, those people get run over by freaking, steamrollers, basically. So what I would say here is, again, it is time to work together. We are stronger together, right? So I think that, if you want to be stronger in business or in love, if you're finding a personal love, it's like, are you both pulling the same weight? And if the answer is no, it's time to find someone new. Or what I would say, it's time to communicate first, because trust me, you don't want to be running around here on these streets dating right now. It is like a freaking war zone, right? It is not. I don't know why anyone would want to be dating today. Number one. So if you have a good person and maybe they're not doing everything you want, maybe a little communication, using your words, being like, hey, I want this, I want that, and finding middle grounds and things like that would be a really good idea. So I would like work together with this Three of Pentacles. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. It's like, again, Seven of Pentacles, every single reading I do for you, Libra, right? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I feel like you're finally getting the squeeze, because this is the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is kind of like material success on the horizon. I love the Eight of Pentacles because, again, to me, it says that kind of like your hard work is catching up. Like, again, it's material success on the horizon, so, it kind of says that something that you've been working on, you are going to see results like very soon in the near future, so love it. Let's see. With the Tower, you have this bluff card here. See, I feel you should be, again, a couple other people have had this card as well, and I kind of felt the same energy off of this card. I think that there are things where maybe you need to call someone's bluff. Like maybe someone doesn't believe you or someone doesn't think that you're actually going to like walk away from them, or maybe a boss doesn't think you're actually going to walk away, or maybe your parents don't actually think you're going to, leave medical school and start a business, but maybe that's what you're supposed to do, right? So, again, I feel like you need to trust your heart and, move in directions that you want to move in. I feel don't be afraid to call people's bluff, right? With the Three of Pentacles, you have this impulsiveness card. It's actually a good card, impulsiveness-wise. You can see here that there's this lucky horseshoe right up here, and it can represent kind of luck coming in for you. But I actually feel that there could be some moves that you make that maybe feel a little bit impulsive. Like, again, maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to leave medical school and start, a fancy, dog breeding facility or something like that. I don't know. Who cares? Whatever it is, whatever your heart is telling you to do, I would do it because, I think it's going to be very lucky for you. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have this Vision card. Interestingly enough, again, you have a lot of repeating cards. A lot of people have had this. I feel like you need to hold your vision. I feel that you have some ideas clearly, based off of the first row, based off the fact that you have a star. You also have this canary spirit that says sing your own song. So there are things, I feel like there's a certain way. Of course, we all have our own unique perception of the world. And, I feel like you have this perception going on right now. This is kind of like a deep reading for you, Libra, because I feel like you have these, kind of very, specific ideas about like what you want in your life, or the experiences you want to have, the type of community you want to belong to, all those things, right? And I feel like this is saying you need to hold your vision and start moving towards it more. Plain and simple. I also feel like you need to be not afraid to speak your mind. For tip number 4, you have the canary spirit says sing your own song. So I feel you need to not be afraid to be unique. I feel this is true for everyone. Again, Pluto in Aquarius at the end of this year, technically next year. And Pluto in Aquarius is about the collective. One thing that I will say is not only do we have Pluto going into Aquarius, but in 2026, we have Neptune moving into Aries officially. And my problem with Neptune and Aries is like people are looking for a savior. The problem with that is that the only person that can save us is ourselves. I've been saying this since 2016, that, people need to understand that the aliens aren't going to land. No one can save us, right, from any of the problems of the world. We have to save ourselves. And so, again, the thing with Pluto and Aquarius is the real solutions are going to come from normal people, just like, some random dude coming up with inventions, or dudette, whatever. I don't care. No, I don't need to attach gender to this, but, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. But, again, I really feel the universe is trying to empower the little guy, just us little people, right? Not Bill Gates and, evil Mark Zuckerberg, the lizard, right? So I feel in a lot of ways that these solutions are going to come from you. But the problem with Pluto and Aquarius, and again, Neptune and Aries, is it's more, Pluto and Aquarius collective, so you can blend into the collective, and then Neptune and Aries looking for a savior, looking for just someone to follow so that you don't have to think for yourself. So don't do that. Make sure to have your own ideas. Make sure to have your own, ideas about life and what you want to experience and all that other good stuff. You have the Seven of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Five of Wands. This is the Seven of Swords to the Eight of Swords. I actually feel that you are coming up with solutions here. Seven of Swords can represent lying, cheating, stealing, but of course, really, the Seven of Swords represents tactics. The Eight of Swords represents only seeing one way of doing things, and I feel you need to realize that there are a million ways to do anything that you want to do. So again, come up with all the ideas of like how you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You have the Hierophant here. This is the Hierophant to the lovers. So again, if you want love, again, not a bad love reading at all. I don't think it's a major focus here, but if you want love, I feel that there could clearly be love coming in for you. And it probably could be someone you marry. You have really good love cards just in general. It could feel a little impulsive as well. You have that impulsiveness card there. Could be a fire sign. You always get fire with me, but I mean, you have everything here. So, basically could be any sign. But I would also say that, the Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. He is the one that communicates with both sides. He brings those ideas down to earth. Seven of Cups. There's something that exists up there that you need to bring down to earth, Libra. And I feel whatever it is, goal, wish, idea, whatever it is inside of you, it will make you very successful. It's something you've wanted for a long time, at least a few years, I would say. You have the Five of Wands to the Six of Wands. Again, you will be successful. Five of Wands is conflict and competition, but again, like I said, we are moving into a time of co-creation, I believe. So I wouldn't even worry about competition. I tell people all the time, there's a great book called The Science of Getting Rich, and it's not even necessarily about getting rich, but again, I mentioned it to another sign as well, because you can listen to it for free, number one. It's like, it was printed in 1912 or something like that, so it's basically online for free. There's audio versions on YouTube. And in that book, he was way ahead of his time. He literally says that we're entering into a time of co-creation, and which I think is true. I think we are entering into this time of, co-creating and working together and all this other good stuff. So, I feel like there's a lot of success for you. I just wouldn't even worry about competition. If you think there's like, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel and you're like, there's too many people. Doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. With the Seven of Swords, you have this inheritance card. Again, this always reminds me of the Ten of Pentacles right down here up to the inheritance card. Both cards obviously can represent an inheritance. But what I would also say is that the inheritance card is kind of about building or leaving a legacy, which you clearly are doing something very important in your life here, Libra. With the Hierophant, you have the resourcefulness card. Everybody has to be resourceful right now. I always say to pretty much everyone that if you want to do anything, you're probably not going to have the money necessarily, the time, or, whatever other resource you think you need. But your job is to start anyway, because that's the only way you will truly be successful is if you don't have the resources, but you do it anyway. Now with the Five of Wands, here you go. You have this achievement card. There's clearly a big achievement coming in for you. It's kind of funny because like a couple of signs, I really felt like their reading was really just one tip. And your reading, I feel, is kind of like one big tip, if that makes sense. And, it's just saying to me that there's something inside of you that would be a big achievement that you want to accomplish. And, I would put it out into the world, or I would expand, like I said earlier, because that's really the only thing this is saying. Next, you have this flamingo spirit. It says find balance, and it also says practice moderation. I feel this is talking about working hard and playing hard, so I would make sure to balance the two things out in life. I always say that I think we have like a work bucket and a fun bucket, so make sure you fill both sides of your energetic buckets, right? If I find that I always say if I don't go for a walk every single day, then I notice things start to slip in other areas of my life. So, I feel like this is saying make sure to balance things out. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. There could be good news coming in for you here. This is the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. So Page of Pentacles is like learning. The Knight of Pentacles, he has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs to get started on something, but he needs to get started. He needs to get moving. So, I really feel for a lot of you Libras out there, this is saying, like, you've learned everything you need to learn, and now it's time to get working towards something that's like bigger than you. This could be like a big project, or it could even be a career or something that you see as being a great success. Could be, again, you have that card that says you will be a great success. And I feel this could even be like having a family. Maybe that's what would make you feel successful. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, but I would definitely do it. You have the Ten of Wands. This is the Ten of Wands to the Ace of Wands. I'm hearing Saved by the Bell on this card. So for some of you, it's like maybe you've been burdened, or there have been a lot of burdens that you've been experiencing. And it's almost as if all of a sudden there's this inspirational moment that you could be having between now and the end of the year. And I feel like this inspirational moment could be guiding you towards something greater in life. So pay attention to inspiration. Like if all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I know what I want to do with my life, go and do it, whatever it is. Maybe you have to go back to school. There could be some sort of obstacle like that says, because it says, but you will have to go through it to get there. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's like maybe you finally understand what you have to go back to school for, or maybe you have to get some sort of training, or maybe you have to build a business from the ground up, or whatever. But whatever it is, I would do it because I think it's going to lead to a lot of success. You have the King of Cups here. So again, I do feel you need to kind of explore as well, which we kind of talked about earlier. The King of Cups, he has very deep emotions, but he's very emotionally stable. And I actually feel your future self is saying that you are becoming more emotionally stable right now. And this is going to lead to a lot more success. I also feel we are in a time of emotions. Here's the thing. We have both Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus. It's not necessarily emotions, but, it's kind of your heart. Both, I look at this as heart-based energy in Taurus. And, I feel that this energy in Taurus is kind of encouraging people to listen to their heart more. And I feel like that's what you need to do here, that, you need to listen to what your heart is guiding you to do. And I say this to everyone, but because I feel it's that important. With the Page of Pentacles here, you have this discrimination card. This is a card of discernment. It's a card of being able to tell the difference between something that's right for you and something that's wrong for you. And so I feel that a lot of you are just getting better at, we kind of talked about this as well. With the Eight of Cups, you had the Seven of Cups to the Eight of Cups here. And we're kind of talking about how it's almost as if you see things more clearly. This could be anything, it could be people that you deal with. It could be situations you enter into. And I really feel, though, this is saying trust it. I'm almost getting a mixture between intuition and logic. I feel you could be mixing those two things together, where maybe you intuitively have feelings about situations you enter into, but you're also logically, maybe you're looking at repeat experiences from your past and you're saying, intuitively, this doesn't look good. And also my experience tells me it isn't good. So put those two things together and trust it, right? Especially if you meet a person, it doesn't feel right, then I would avoid them. If you meet a person and it feels great, then don't avoid them, right? So I feel this is kind of saying, trust yourself. With the Ten of Wands, you have this order card. A lot of people have had this card. I think we could be bringing a lot of order to things that we're working on here, or you're just doing things in a better order. You're doing things more step by step. No, not so much like, I feel like there's less zigzagging going on with this card. So maybe you feel like you've been running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and now I feel you're just kind of like more focused. You're less distracted, or I don't know what word I'm trying to look for here, but there you go. With the King of Cups, you have this originality card. I mean, the whole entire reading was basically said, be an original. We talked about this with the Canary Spirit. We talked about this with the Hermit as well. I feel this is the name of the game for you, Libra. This is the only thing you need to focus on. You don't need 5 tips. You just need 1 tip. Be yourself and don't listen to anyone else, right? Or don't listen to what anyone tells you. And again, if you're feeling fear, this is expansion. It's empty energy that you have to fill. So it's really not fear. It's just that, you could be doing things that cause you to expand so much that, it's like that. How do I say this? I don't know. It's like when you expand so much, when you grow, if you're entering into a space and you're growing to a point where you've never grown before, like growing your business or whatever, it's the fear of the unknown. You have to explore the unknown, and that's what I feel this is saying. So hopefully that makes sense. This looks really good. I love where this is going. I feel you're going to be great success. So there you go. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy the rest of the year.